Hello group, it's been a minute. Been a little too smoky around these parts to make any videos based on current data. And in scanning the groups or group, in some of the questions I've been getting based on live stacking, I thought I'd do this video on what I think outside of Mallincamsky would be a very good option for you if you would like to try another means to stack. So there are, from what I know, there's a lot of stacking programs. There's Sequator, All Sky Plate Solver can stack, APP can stack, Siril can stack. Lots of programs can stack. Deep Sky Stacker. But what we're looking for is something that can live stack. And that whittles things down pretty quickly. So you have Mallincamsky, you have Deep Sky Stacker Live, and you have Siril, you have SharpCap. Excuse me. And when you buy a Mallincam camera, you get, and depending on the flavor of Mallincam, if you get a DS Series camera, you're going to get Mallincamsky. Now that has a very good stacker. And it is designed for quick views, does a very good job at what it does, but if you want to take that next little step, then you need to look elsewhere. And I know that others in the group have been looking for another way to stack, and have been asking me questions about what I felt was the way to at least try something else. So what you can do is you can continue to use Mallincamsky to do all the capturing, but you can use another program to do the live stacking. And what I am here today is to show you 3 ways to do it. 2 of them I don't recommend, 1 of them I do. And the first one that we will talk about is Deep Sky Stacker Live. Now this is mainly made for your light frames. So when you are working in Mallincamsky, you can do a capture of every frame and save those to disk. And then you can use a program like this to point to that folder where all those lights are going and then run the stacking program. The disadvantage of this program is there is no histogram. And to be able to work on the colors is impossible. So whatever you see on screen is basically what you get. I would run this, but it puts a bunch of text files in the folder that I want to use to show the program that I like. So we aren't going to do that. This will work. I know people on the group that are very happy with this. And we'll leave it at that. So this is one that will do live stacking of lights only. You cannot put in calibration frames like flats and darks. Just on that alone, I don't recommend it. Oh, and the other thing is there's no histogram and you can't control the color. Especially if you're working in, say, like raw fit files. So you're saving to disk raw fit files, which are the highest bit depth you can get. This won't let you tweak that. The next one would be Siril. Now, this is a new feature for Siril. You would load your calibration frames here. So in this case, I have my master bias, my master dark, and my master flat. And then I would point to where my lights are, which you can see right here. And then you would click on this and run it. The problem is that this needs to see frames hit the folder, not in the folder. So right now, if I turn this on, you will see that all those light frames, there's 200 and some odd light frames in that folder. It will not work on them or not use them because they're already there. It thinks it's already worked on them. So, and the other thing is that while it's stacking, you have no access to any of the tools in Siril, like the histogram and whatnot. So this is another program that does live stack, but I do not recommend it at this point. Things are always subject to change. The next program, which is the one I recommend, would be SharpCap. And the reason why is that it works with calibration frames. It can reject bad frames based on a number of things. It will align based on a number of things. And it's very fast, and it has the best histogram in the Astro market today for live stacking. So what I will show you is how you start or get ready to start a live stack. So you would go to camera, and you want to go down to folder, monitor, camera. And when it opens, it's going to ask you to pick a folder. So we're going to pick my light folder here. We're going to open it. I don't know why it did that. Lights. All images. That's what I hit the wrong. Sorry. So you select all the images in selected folder. We now have the first frame in the queue. I can load a master dark and a master flat, which I've already done. And I will go to live stack right here. And I will select it. Here I can align frames. I can reject on FWHM, and you get a nice chart that would show you anything above this line it would reject. I'm not going to do that. A brightness filter would be if you had clouds running through or the scene got really bad and the sky brightened up on it, it would reject that. The view I am looking at is going to be the stacked view, and I'm stacking with sigma clipping. So that is the rejection. So if a sat flies through, it rejects that frame. If a plane flies through, it rejects that frame. And then this is where you can find out about your status of the stack. This is the histogram, which I will get into. Here's all your alignment. I just leave this as it's these are the defaults. And you can reset them if you happen to mess something up. Stacking, this is where you got your sigma clipping in the settings. I just use the stock settings. Enhancements I don't do, so you could sharpen, noise reduction, little deconvolve. Now guiding, if you were using SharpCap to live stack with a camera, then you would want to have the guider so that it would dither. This is the dither function here. Filter is, this is showing you based on your brightness. If you get a bad frame, it will peak up. We'll go through these once we get going. And then my drift graph. I should not have any drift. It should be right on the line, but we will see. So to make this run, what we do now is go back to the histogram view I want to reset and reset. So now the histogram is at default, so are the colors. And I'm going to start running through the files. And what you will see is that as it starts clicking off frames, the histogram will tighten up. So I'm going to click on the color adjust button here. And I'm going to drag the black to here. There's a set. Now, I don't believe that one got picked up. I'm just going to zoom in a little. Now you can see, because of all the smoke that happened during this particular night, I have a gradient from, you can see the gradient that's from the moon and all the smoke. But we are able to work with what we got. And we now have 28 frames in the stack, 14 minutes worth. And if I go back out, that frame is still in there. So let me see. There's a frame count. 3, 1. So this is the FWHM, which I am not using. And you can see that I'm pretty much on the green. This is the filter brightness. This would be this fit function here. If I had like clouds blowing through, then I would get one that's way up or way down. And then this is the drift, telling me if I have any drift. And I don't. I now have 53 in the stack. You can see the noise is starting to go away. Now this handles noise differently than Mallincamsky. This one needs many more frames to handle the noise, where Mallincamsky in the same 60 frames would have had the noise all cleared out. That's the difference. One of the differences between a Mallincamsky stack and this stacking. This stacking will give you better signal build, but it takes longer to get rid of the noise, along with the frame rejections. So here's our supernova. You can see that the arms are showing a lot of nice detail. Now, as the histogram tightens up, it will start to move a little bit based on, you can see that as the night went along, the moon got higher. And my brightness, the image brightness got higher. So it's going to push the histogram to the left on me, the more in the stack. But that's a nice image for 90 frames. Now, I think these were 30-second images, 30-second lights. if 120 is an hour, thereabouts. Yeah, these are 30 seconds. So that's not bad for 30 seconds. Got a lot of nice detail. The only thing that's messed up is the color, and that's mainly because of the smoke and the moon. But for a live stack, we have a lot of nice detail on these arms. And the beauty of this software is this is more like an astrophotography program. And as the stack continues to build, more and more of this fine detail will fill in, which is your signal. So again, you can use frames from that you are saving off in Mallincamsky, and then using SharpCap to stack those frames would be what I would believe is taking the Mallincam captures to the next level. For quick views, Mallincamsky is a wonderful tool. I use it all the time. But when you want to get a little bit more detail, sometimes you have to look elsewhere. And on this particular night, this would have been the tool I should have used because I was broadcasting this and I was showing the individual frames because I wanted to show people that I could see the supernova right here. I was actually tracking satellites with the other scope and jumping back between this and this was actually a Nina. All these frames were captured in Nina. And we have about 78 minutes in there so far. You can see that the histogram is still creeping a little bit to the left. That's a beautiful image, considering the conditions. So again, this is another way that you can live stack. I think this is, if you're not going to use Mallincamsky, this is the program you want to use. Mainly because you can bring in your flats and darks, a master flat and a master dark. You have a histogram that is a world beater. I wish the Mallincamsky software had this. It would be so much nicer. And you can correct for any color deviation that you might have. Again, if I do the auto, it's going to skew red because of the smoke. You can see it still in there. And if you have any questions on any of this, you know where to get a hold of me. And we'll see you in the group. Talk to you later.